Ishmael Morabe has been entertaining South Africa for over 30 years. In case you don't even need to know his surname, it's Ishmael. But he's surprised listeners with his recent track, Sangena, which features TJ and Play with Jonty. It's fresh sounds ranging from electro-pop to amapiano. And Ishmael joins us in the studio here today. That intro really doesn't do you justice, Ishmael, because when my colleague said to me, oh, we're going to speak to Ishmael, blah, 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 and then I wasn't really paying attention. And then I said, as in Ishmael, as the Ishmael, because you must understand, I was a teenager in Cape Town in the 90s. And you cannot speak about Ishmael without speaking of prophets of the city. And then the legend just grew from there. Thank you so much for your time here. What does it feel like to know that you've got an old 40-something like me saying you're a legend and you meant something very particular to our generations during that very volatile early 90s. And now you're speaking to young people who know you from your new venture into the world of amapiano. That's a lot to carry.
It's exciting, I would say. For me, it's definitely exciting that I'm still able to entertain people, you know, even being having been in the industry for such a long time. It's my love for music. It's very large, and I'm happy that I'm actually still doing it and still having fun with it.
What is it like navigating the music world, however? Because, I mean, we all know what your body of work, it speaks for itself. Is it strange then sometimes you go into studios or into spaces where there are young people that perhaps don't know about your history and are learning to get to know you and what your skills are, where you are right now in your life?
No, it's not strange. It's expected, you know what I mean? Because not everybody's going to know who you are, you know? And but I just roll with it, and I just hope to influence whoever actually can be influenced, and also if the young artists can, you know, if I can give something to them in terms of like they can learn from me or anything good, I'm happy about that.
So what do you say to old school hip hop fans like me? I was having a discussion with colleagues last night and talking about I'm not interested in these new music festivals with amapiano because I like a song that's got a beginning, a middle and an end. So that I know what I'm working with when I'm on the dance floor. But you've got a new love for the amapiano genre, and you say that you fell in love with it during lockdown. What do you say to us oldies and say, don't write off all the amapiano. There's joy to be found in all of it.
Yes, I mean, I think music is just large, and if you close yourself to certain genres, you're actually really going to suffer, because music is the way people communicate, you know what I mean? Whether it's old music, whether it's new music, you have to be, if you're still alive, if you're breathing, you have to be part of it, you know what I mean? You have to know what's happening, whether it's new or amapiano or any genre. So I feel like people shouldn't close themselves off because it's something that they don't understand. You know, you just roll with it, learn it even, because you might find you find yourself in it. It's music. Now, it's the soundtrack to life, you know.
Now, when you've entered the studio to work on this new track, Sangena, what is it that you believe that you brought in terms of, I mean, you're known for your vocals, obviously, as well, but you also know what the DNA is of a hit. You've had so many hits across genres. What is it that you thought that you brought into the studio, that sort of fairy dust, that golden dust that you could sprinkle on the amapiano genre?
I mean, for me, it's not like I know if it's going to be a hit or not. All I bring to the studio is just my best, you know? I bring my best, I bring my vibe, and also it also helps if I work with people that I can relate to, you know, people that I can vibe with, because studio is really about vibe. You know, if people you're working with, the chemistry and the vibe is good, you know, most times the song's going to come out proper.
You've had, you can write a book about your life. You really can. I mean, talking about being at the forefront. For me, obviously people from Cape Town will say that's where the genre of hip-hop found its genesis in South Africa. Because I was just looking at the timeline, because we're in the same building as YFM. And yesterday we celebrated Youth Day, and they had all the old cats who started YFM in the late 90s in the studio yesterday talking about that time. Prophets of the City were in their prime in the early 90s. I think 1995 was your big album as well. And it really was the voice of young people at the time and what they were going through. And I know that that's what they were talking about on YFM as well, as that movement swept through the country and hit Gauteng and the urban heart of South Africa and where South Africa found itself in its history. When you look at the music industry and how it is reflecting on South Africa's youth right now and where it finds itself in. And you would have heard my conversation with people earlier about how tough these times are for different reasons for South African young people. But there are a lot of correlations about young people having to find their voice, about young people not just allowing government to run roughshod over them with policies that are not gaining them, are not able to help them gain anything in their lives. How important are the arts and music in reflecting the voice of young people during difficult times, especially if you look back on how you and your colleagues were able to do that back in the 90s?
Yeah. I think music is really important, especially youth music, in terms of reflecting on the problems that they're going through. I think artists should sing more, sing or talk more about, you know, even the serious issues as well, not just, you know, the vibes and the parties, you know what I mean? Because I think the music has a very strong voice in terms of just like, you know, just spreading the message out there. Like, I mean, for us back in the days, we spread the message of anti-apartheid and stuff like that, you know. So I think, I mean, there are a few people that are doing it now, like where you hear, you know, messages and stuff like that, but I think it could be more, you know, where people just voice themselves out, you know, through music, you know. Let the people know what you're going through, what your generation is going through.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. As you could tell, we could speak for a while, but we're going to leave it there. Ishmael, let the music speak for itself. There's a new track called Sangena, and I'm sure you can find it on various streaming platforms to tune in. And I'm sure if you go onto social media, you can find out where Ishmael will be performing going forward. We thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. And also, on the 1st, people can come check me out at Poppies in Cresta.
Oh, fantastic. I've heard that's a bop.
Yeah. No, definitely we're going to be doing our thing there.
On the 1st of July?
Yes.
Okay, definitely. At Poppies, and I know they do have a Facebook page as well. So Poppies at Cresta is where you'll be able to see Ishmael perform on the 1st of July. That is going to be a vibe, as the young people say.